Have you ever felt like you've been ghosted? You're having a great chat, then suddenly they disappear without a word. The account is deleted and every digital trace vanishes as if been never existed on this earth. It hurts, doesn't it? Now, imagine the feeling of archaeologists researching world history. They find civilizations that already had magnificent cities, advanced technology, and stable economies, but then suddenly, poof, the entire population is gone. No mass remains from war, no volcanic ash, just empty cities slowly being swallowed by the jungle. This isn't about one person forgetting to reply to a chat. This is about millions of people performing a mass delete account from the server of history. We often think of civilization as a ladder that keeps moving upward. In reality, civilization is more like an app on your phone. If it can't handle the system update or the memory gets too full, it will force close and vanish from the home screen. Today, we will discuss 6 great civilizations that once ruled the world, but then decided to hit Alt F4 and leave us with 1,000 question marks. Prepare your logic. Let's analyze why these civilization servers could shut down completely without ever hitting the save button. The Maya, a failed system update. We begin with everyone's favorite, the Maya. Your POV. You live in the year 800 AD in the Yucatan Peninsula. You have a calendar more accurate than your smartwatch, pyramids reaching the sky, and a complex writing system. You are the center of the world. But in a short time, the great Mayan cities were simply abandoned. Many people are trapped in the 2012 doomsday theory, which turned out to be just a calendar misunderstanding. However, the real mystery is, why did they leave? The synoptic narrative sees this as a problem of over-optimization. The Maya built cities that were too large in the middle of a fragile tropical jungle. They cut down trees to burn limestone for building increasingly luxurious pyramids. The result? Local climate change, prolonged drought, and famine. This is a classic example of a civilization focused too much on graphics, architectural aesthetics, but forgetting to update the hardware, food and water availability. They didn't go extinct, they just switched servers to small villages and left their cities as monuments to resource management failure. Indus Valley civilization, the world's most polite civilization. Moving to the region of Pakistan and India, there is the Indus Valley or Harappa civilization. This is a civilization that makes us feel inferior. Imagine, 4,500 years ago, they already had cities with perfect grid layouts like New York, underground drainage systems, and even public baths cleaner than the public pools near your house today. The strange part, archaeologists have found almost no grand temples, arrogant royal palaces, or weapon storehouses. It seems they were a very peaceful, open-source civilization. But around 1900 BC, these great cities began to be abandoned. Was it an alien invasion? No. Logical analysis points to a shift in river courses and massive drought. Without water, their advanced sanitation system became useless. They are proof that no matter how advanced a civilization's technology is, if its basic resource, water, is pulled by nature, the entire system will crash. They simply vanished, spreading eastward and merging into history, leaving us with a standard brick size that remains the same today. The Akkadian Empire, victim of the Dust Patch update. The Akkadian Empire is often called the first empire in the world, led by Sargon the Great. They united various cities in Mesopotamia under one flag. They were strong, wealthy, and had a feared military. But after ruling for about a century, this empire collapsed in a very short time. What happened? Scientists found evidence of a mega drought, or an extraordinary drought that lasted for 300 years. Dust and sandstorms covered their wheat fields. In synoptics language, this was a patch update from nature that was too heavy for the Akkadian political system to run. When the food ran out, the people began to riot, and the central government lost control. Sargon might have been able to conquer enemies with a sword, but he couldn't conquer a sandstorm that destroyed the economy. Akkadia is a warning that political stability is highly dependent on environmental stability. Cahokia, the forgotten pyramid in America. Before Columbus arrived in America, near what is now Illinois, a metropolitan city named Cahokia once stood. They built giant earthen pyramid mounds with a base larger than the Great Pyramid of Giza. At its peak, Cahokia's population was denser than London at the same time. So where did they go? By 1350, Cahokia was already a ghost town. Theories vary: massive flooding, water pollution from too much human waste, or internal conflict. Your POV: you have a very busy city, but because there is no proper waste management system, your city becomes smelly and diseased. Finally, you decide to log out and move to a greener place. Cahokia is a reminder that population density without waste infrastructure is a perfect recipe for self-destruction. Rapa Nui, the ego that crumbled the ecosystem. We fly to Easter Island, or Rapa Nui. You surely know the giant stone statues, moai, with facial expressions that look like they're judging your life. Once, this island was green and full of palm trees. Its inhabitants built a highly religious and competitive civilization. The problem was, to move those multi-ton statues, they needed a lot of wood for rollers and ropes. They cut down trees faster than the trees could grow back. The result? Soil erosion, loss of bird nesting sites, and depletion of boat materials for fishing. Their civilization collapsed because they prioritized prestige achievement statues over sustainability. It's like you spending your entire salary on the latest iPhone, but ending up unable to buy food for a month. Rapa Nui is a lesson in environmental bankruptcy. The Anasazi, cliff dwellers who chose to leave. Lastly, we go to the southwestern United States. The Anasazi, or ancestral Puebloans, built incredible homes in steep cliff crevices, highly artistic, highly protected, and very difficult to reach. They lived there for centuries, farming on the dry mesas. Then, at the end of the 13th century, they abandoned everything. There were no signs of a massive invasion. They just packed their essential belongings, left their pots and cooking tools, and headed south. Archaeologists suspect there was a severe drought lasting decades, coupled with social conflict. Your POV: you have worked hard to build a home in the safest place, but if the land no longer feeds you, safety is no longer a priority. They didn't go extinct, they just performed a migration update. But the mystery of why they left such beautiful cliff architecture remains one of America's greatest paradoxes. From these 6 civilizations, our logic can see a systemic pattern. A civilization usually doesn't collapse because of a single event, but rather due to a combination of errors. Climate change, resource greed, and the political system's unreadiness to adapt are the deadly trio that can erase a nation's name from the map. We often feel that our modern civilization is eternal because we have the internet and satellites. But remember, the Maya and Indus people felt the same in their time. They had the best technology of their era, and they still hit forced close. History isn't just about the past, it's about a stress test for our current civilization. Are we building pyramids that are too expensive while damaging our own nature server? Discussing mass extinction sounds grim, but at least we learn how not to repeat the same mistakes. This world is full of traces of great people who are now just dust beneath our feet. So, of the 6 disappeared civilizations, which one makes the least sense to your logic? Do you agree that our modern civilization also shows signs of ghosting in the future? Or do you think we already have a strong enough backup data? Write your theories or opinions in the comments, and if you have recommendations for other mysterious civilizations we need to dissect, don't hesitate to let the Synoptic admin know below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so your logic remains updated and doesn't get force closed by history. Thank you for watching till the end. If you like how we explain complex things to make them make more sense, don't forget to follow Synoptic. We will continue to discuss many everyday things that are actually fascinating, as long as they're explained the right way. Synoptic, the world simplified, one thought at a time.